favor. This is one more, please.
I'm gonna ask about Liga Verde. So this year, do you already know, or are you waiting to get the medical clearance to play Liga Verde?
Oh, I'm not cleared at all. This will have to be a next year thing. I'll play in 2024. I'll make my return to Liga Verde.
Is there gonna be a Tantron? You know, when there's WrestleMania, you have a big entrance.
Oh yeah,
And that's gonna be you.
the comeback, the rebirth,
The great comeback of Erin
the
Webb.
rising of the Phoenix. I don't know, something like that.
There you go.
The rise of Erin Webb.
Hello, and welcome to Otra, por favor. My name is Richie, and I appreciate everyone that listens to the content or watches the content on all the platforms that we have. As you guys know, the podcast is about football, life, and everything that makes our culture in Austin. Today, I have the honor to host a very special group of people that are bringing something amazing to the city, and that's a women's soccer team. They're part of Austin Rise, and if I can have each and every one, each of you guys to share your name and a little bit about you.
I guess I'll go first. My name is Erin Webb, and I'm one of the co-founders for Austin Rise FC. We started this team about a year ago, last, I think, July. Originally from Colorado, and I moved to Austin for work, and one of my friends is the one that kind of got me back into soccer. I was just working my corporate job and saw one of my friends at Zilko Park, and I went to go play with another semi-pro teams. That's kind of how I got my journey back into soccer.
That's good. And how about you?
Yep, I'm Katie, one of the co-founders of Austin Rise, and I've been playing soccer almost all my life. Moved to Austin in 2015 from California for work.
Okay.
Also was kind of looking to play higher level soccer, and found a semi-pro team here. So kind of got it back into it a few years ago, and just really enjoyed it, and really enjoyed an opportunity to play at this level at my age. I'm in my 30s, and I kind of thought those days were over for that level of soccer. So it's been fun getting back into it, and then being part of building a new team here in Austin for women.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I know say for example, there was a team that happened last year, and we just want to talk more about turning the page, the team this year. Say what's the vision behind Austin Rise, a little bit more about say the founders, because there's 5-6 founders, so the role of each founder. Also just get to know where you guys gonna play, and the style of play. We'll keep that a secret for whenever people come and watch the games.
Yeah.
Before anything, I want to thank Hop Squad for allowing us to record in this amazing space. I'm drinking the tequila
Cheers.
margarita. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. And you got the special water
Got that
right there,
special
right?
water,
The
yeah.
magic one.
It's bad luck to cheers to water. So
Well, hopefully that's not a premonition for the season.
Hey, I'm the type of person that I make my own luck, so you'll be all right.
okay.
So let's go into the team. How was the team created? When was it created? And what's the initial mission and vision of the team?
Yeah, so Erin mentioned a little bit, but we started this team last summer, about last July is when the 5 of us got together, myself, Erin, Rochelle, Amanda, and Bethany from the previous team. Basically, that team fell apart and it dissolved, and that was the semi-pro team for women in Austin. And so as far as the vision and everything and getting it started, I don't know, for the 5 of us, it was kind of a no-brainer. It was well, we'll just make a team. We'll put it together and do this thing. And so we just started meeting and figuring out okay, what is it going to take to put this together? And one thing kind of led to the next. And when we were kind of figuring out who do we want to be and what do we want to do with this team, I think something big for us was one, not falling into the pitfalls that others have in the past, making sure we do things really collaboratively and as a team, and working together with the community. That's been a huge part for us too. When everything kind of broke and we started going on this journey, we got a lot of support from Los Verdes, from Austin Code Association, and we started realizing like, okay, people care about this, and we want to make sure like we're giving back to them too. So like community's been a big part of what we're doing, and just making sure we're building a team that like feels like it's really part of the city, and that people feel very welcome on, like whether it's players, the staff, or like our partners, like everyone feels part of something special.
And you said Bethany, you guys, Erin, Katie, and the other two founders?
Yeah, Rochelle D'Amico and Amanda Lisberger.
Amanda Lisberger,
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all former players from the last team.
From the last team, which was Austin FC Elite? Or
FC Austin League.
Is it
Yeah.
Austin Elite? Okay. So getting together, just it's one of those that, starting from scratch. And a lot of it is just building ideals, but then it's not just one person calling the shots. It's a collective of people.
Yep.
Sometimes that's a little tough because everyone has a different idea. So
Yeah, definitely.
meshing that well, how's that process been for y'all?
Yeah, I would say it's been a learning experience. I think it helped that we were teammates before, because there was like some level of understanding for one another. But yeah, it's also helped too that like we all basically have full-time jobs outside of this, and this is kind of what, I won't say like our side thing, but like it's not what we're paid to do. But that kind of helped because everyone's coming from like a different background or different experiences. So we were just trying to pull on those and like leverage like what skills we already had to bring to the table and to figure out like to play to our strengths and whatnot. I think the biggest thing too has been just like staying aligned on that common vision, which is like making sure we're building a positive environment no matter what we're doing, and like moving women's soccer forward at the end of the day.
And I think that's women's soccer. I was listening to the Phil West and the Striker. They did a pretty cool live podcast. Speaking of Phil West,
I know.
I
That's so
didn't even
weird.
notice he was here.
I didn't notice him too. This is wow.
I there's something that when it came up and talked about, say for example, how can the community help? Which we're gonna talk about a little bit more, but it was basically for women. It's a bit hard to get the support because there's not that visibility. Some companies, they're gonna be like, how is that gonna help my brand? But I'm pretty sure like that came to you guys' mind. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like you have to pull through.
Yeah, and that's just something that like just comes with it. But what I'm really happy about is that women's soccer is like growing so much. Like there's been so much stuff like on the news about it, and like I encourage everyone to like go out and read a bunch of like articles and stuff about women's soccer and the different landscapes that are coming, and hopefully that's like encouraging to like young women, even young men as well, any type of audience to like see that women's soccer is growing, and like hopefully over time that once people start making that investment, a lot of people will come on board because there's a lot of great things that are happening with women's soccer, a lot of good opportunities that are coming from it. So hopefully I think once we get established and people see like what we're able to produce, I think that will bring in more people, more like supporters and the audience in the space as well. So
And say for women's switching up a bit is what was like, let's say your idol or someone you looked up to or someone you admired, like a player that you remember when you were young or even up to this day.
I can go first.
Yeah, you go first.
I feel like the first person I like truly admired was Brandy Chastain. So like I was 9 when the '99 World Cup happened, and so like as a 9-year-old watching the U.S. women play in such a big tournament and like there being so much hype around it, because like it was just kind of a little bit unheard of then, and like seeing them pack out these stadiums was so cool. And then of course there's just like that iconic moment of Brandy Chastain like making the last PK to win the whole game, and I just thought that was like the coolest thing. I don't know, it's like that memory just kind of burned in my brain, and like at that moment that's when I knew like, okay, soccer is so cool, like this is what I want to do and this is how I want to spend my time. And there's been many players that I've kind of admired since then, but yeah, like that's the one that I always think back on, like, okay, yeah, this is legit, like I want to freaking
You're like,
do
I
that.
want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to rip the jersey off and just
Yeah.
slide.
Yeah, mine is Mia Hamm. I had Mia Hamm like literally everything growing up, and yeah, I remember watching. It's just crazy how like I feel like when we were younger, it was so hard to find like the games and stuff like on TV, or you had no idea what channel stuff was gonna be on, and now there's like so much content to like watch, and like even like some international players too. Like everyone can have an idol, but for sure mine was just Mia Hamm forever. And like even now she's like one of the owners of like LAFC. And I'm like, dang, she's still a baller, like old and retired, like, still balling, like looking like I see her like with like Will Ferrell, like wearing her hat, like looking cool as hell. So I'm just like still doing it.
There's one thing I mean, just growing up in Mexico, there was Maribel Dominguez, I believe her last name. She was like a very good player, but she came from the barrio. She came from the hood.
Yeah.
And man, she just had a heart of her whole personality really represented like one part of Mexico that like, okay, like in Mexico, you know, there's a lot of good players that, you know, don't have that exposure. And, you know, you have one person that literally just tells that story for everyone.
Yeah.
But then again, like say when I was in 1999 when that happened, I was in Mexico. So women's sports really didn't push as much as how when I came to America, I started seeing that more and more and more and more. Even high school, there was a women's soccer team, and the girls were good. We'll scrimmage the girls sometimes, and you know we'll get our ass kicked. You know.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I remember is just you felt that there was. I mean, of course there's guys and girls, but it is like there's something about it that brought everyone together when you played. It wasn't just all right, we're gonna play against the girls and that's it. Like, you know, like there was just something about them, and especially as women, I feel like a lot of the times they will play 2 times as hard just because they're like, nah, we're not gonna let these guys beat us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
We got a couple of slide tackles and a couple of shovings.
Oh yeah.
And then after high school, I played co-ed soccer, and man, I learned to appreciate more like women in the sport because like a lot of the women that I played against or with, they were super technical.
Yeah.
Like holding the ball, sometimes even better than like some of the guys that I played with. And but it's hard for a guy because I mean you know Mexicans, we have this macho mentality. It's like que los hombres, and then but being a little more, I would say, humble in that aspect. You know, it's a learning progress. But now it's, you know, we have friends. I play in a group called Anarchist Soccer here in Austin, and we have this one lady. Her name is Felicia, and she's started playing maybe about 5 years ago. She's in her 40s, but man, she can defend. She is not afraid of the ball.
Yeah.
So it's cool that, you know, like say we're seeing, like not just in the pickup part, we're actually gonna see more women in an actual game competing for something.
Oh, yeah.
And, which league is the Austin Rise going to be competing on?
In the WPSL.
Can you give me a little more insights of the league and you know, like what division is it? Or?
Yeah, so this league has been around for 25 years. I think they just hit their 25-year anniversary, and it's been just a women-only league since they started. And we actually got the privilege to go to Oklahoma to the league annual meeting and stuff. And what's great about that is they're giving us a vision and landscape of the leagues and and stuff like that. So it's been really awesome to see where they started and where they're going to. They have been sustainable and still been around. And even joining the league, the fees to get in the league weren't bad enough. So we got the barrier entry was rather low. Okay. But they still have the summer league, which we're doing, and they announced a couple months ago they're doing the WPSL Pro League as well. So it's going to be a lower division pros team as well, which they're planning on trying to run from April to October. So those are some of the things they're looking for years to come, which is great. And so again, they're super transparent with, of course, everybody coming to the annual meeting to see their vision and stuff of what they're trying to achieve. And so far it's been great. And it's hard right now because it's our first year, so we haven't really played any of the teams yet. So this will be our first year of having all that scouting and stuff with these teams. But I mean, just from looking at social media and other content, of course, the teams from California, other teams have been around and have dominated. And of course, I have to shout out to Houston a little bit because Houston's up there with some of the pretty good top talent and teams. So we're excited to get out there and compete.
Oh man, it'll be cool to see another rivalry rise. Austin Rise against Houston. That banter.
And of course, we can't forget about the teams also in Austin as well. So it's gonna be great. And what's great too about this league is the travel is so low. We're only playing in Houston, San Antonio, and here as well. So a lot of opportunity for like short travels. We can get the most out of like everyone, not having to like kill our bodies traveling and stuff. So sometimes we'll be away. We're right here in Austin competing against another local talent. So it's gonna be good.
Oh, so it's different. So the league, there's other teams from Austin in the league, or okay.
Yeah, there's one other one like right here in Austin, or I guess close to Austin. They're technically in Round Rock. It's Lone Star SC.
Okay.
But yeah, we consider them like our other local Austin team. And then Batco FC is in Temple, which is not too far away. So they're kind of considered an Austin area team as well. And then 3 teams in Houston and 2 in San Antonio. So we compete in what's called the Texas Triangle, which kind of makes sense geographically.
Yeah.
So all our games are within that area. And then if you win your conference, you go into the regionals, and then regionals you go into finals.
The finals.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen, for example, the challenge of putting a team together and then the organization by itself? What has been something that you guys will recall, like, man, it's just hard to get through at this moment?
It's so hard because the season is so short. It's like a summer league, and of course right now, like where we are, it's of course you can get some local girls that live in Austin, but also too you have to get some college girls as well. So you kind of have to like be patient with some of the process of like I feel like with this, because it's in the summer and like girls will in and out, be back into college working and stuff, it's hard to of course get everyone to be there at a certain time. So that's just kind of like one thing, is that since it's so short, you really have to try to maximize everything in a short period of time. And it's hard to like get to a certain level with only 3 months. I feel like once you get to like your maximum capacity or the best you probably can be, the season's over. Everyone's packing their bags, heading back off to college, going back to work. It's fall again, so that's like kind of the challenge with putting this kind of team together. So
yeah, I agree with that. It's like a very fast ramp up time, but then by the time you're like fully ramped, the season's ramping down a little bit. So
next thing you know, you're already almost done with the season.
Exactly.
And then in regards to like say the sport itself, what is something like, I know we're not going to talk about the style of play. You guys will get to see that when they actually play the game. But like say the training, when do you guys train? Where do you train? And then, what is something that you guys take from your previous experience into like now with the new players, I'm assuming? What is something like, say, for example, the first focus was, okay, the physical part, or was it, let's work more with the ball the first time you guys started hitting the pitch?
That's a good question. So as far as like practices go, we started preseason about mid-April, like kind of mid to late April. So we've been practicing for I think like 4 weeks now, 4 or 5 weeks. Going into our first game actually this weekend. It's an away game. But yeah, I think like first and foremost, it was like just getting girls out there and getting people with like touches on the ball, like less so like big game tactics. Like now we're trying to get more into like the game tactics and like how are we actually going to approach gameplay. But yeah, just getting touches on the ball and getting girls familiar with each other. I think something that was kind of big for us was like talent is one thing, and obviously want to bring in the best talent that we can, but it was also really important to bring in like a good group of players that was going to mesh well and like gel well and like create a really productive and like respectful environment. So that's something we've kind of been working on the last few weeks, which honestly has been easy because everyone's really great. And now kind of getting into those little details of like what's our shape, what's our formation, and like who's playing what positions, that kind of stuff. And then of course fitness, so which is always a work in progress. But yeah, we're getting there.
And the fitness part, what is something that like specific movements or trainings you guys are doing just to stay in shape? Because I know, like say for example, soccer, it is a high-paced sport, but it's also you have to somehow find a way to calibrate or contain the energy and not burn yourself out the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, definitely. We get a little bit naturally through training. We have 6 trainings every week.
Yep.
4 morning, 2 evening. That was a question mark because I didn't go to the evening practice. I usually go to all the morning ones. I know. I usually can make the morning ones. That's what works in my schedule. But yeah, so we have got 2 in the evening and four in the morning. So get a lot of fitness through just like going through training. And then, I don't know, I personally do stuff outside of it, and we try to tell girls like to make sure you're doing your workouts outside of practice too. But I don't know, anything you want to add to that?
No, yeah, and like sometimes like we always joke because we are on the older side, and we see some of the college girls like after training they'll do their extra sprints and stuff like that. And I think it's important too because one thing of course we're noticing is a lot of girls in the World Cup right now. Like England is suffering a lot of like injuries and stuff, and one thing that's really important is I'm not a science person, so I don't really know, but just keeping your body at a certain level, keeping it healthy and stuff. So trying to find that balance of getting fit, but also not having burnout. Because if you think about it, a lot of girls could be coming from like spring college and stuff, and like that's something we don't want. But like you'll naturally get fit from like going to trainings and stuff. And I personally always like doing fitness with the ball. Like doing sprints is like not really like something I enjoy, but yeah, fitness is important because if your body has to be at a certain level to train that much, and also playing games as well. So and I don't and coming from me where I am, like me having an injury right now, it's really important to just keep your body at a certain level, and hopefully like building it back up to getting back to that fitness level. So
it's funny hearing Erin say she doesn't like sprints because in practice this morning, she was very encouraging of the rest of the team doing sprints.
Of course, when I'm sitting out, I can say whatever I want and have the girls do whatever.
It was fine. It was good. Noted.
Yeah. I'm trying to live through everybody, so.
Yeah. And the coaching right now is like, say, who's the one calling the shots in the coaching? Is it like you got the founders, or just one person?
Yeah, so for coaching we have kind of 2 people like on staff right now. Okay. We actually like promoted our assistant coach to head coach. We also brought in another coach as well, like as the assistant. And so it's a good balance. Like I said, like one of the coaches, Steven, comes from like a club background, so of course he's able to bring some of his younger players as well. So the coaching is good. They both have different personalities and different styles, but they're able to come together and kind of give the girls what they want, like a broad level of training of certain topics, and getting also down to the nitty-gritty of specifics as well. So the coaching is good, and that's like of course I think it's really important because you want to get the girls to a certain level. If they want to go to a different school, transfer to a different school, play at a high level, that they can have the training to get them there. And so I do appreciate our coaches. They've done a really good job, and the feedback has been good from the players as well, back to us. So
that's good. I know there's one thing that at the end of the day is if the team itself has feedback with each other and also communication, everything works out great. So having that beginning right before the season starts, it's helpful, and especially having people that actually know what the sport is about. That's also helpful. Not to like put anyone down, but when you have people that don't know about the sport, then they're gonna be making this weird tactics, and it's like, I don't know, and then it's gonna be bringing confusion to the players. But bringing in people that actually know about the sport helps in the long run, longevity, and. Katie, do you play in the team right now, or?
Yeah, I'm playing on the team right now.
What's your position?
I usually play a holding mid.
Okay. And
then Bethany and Amanda are also playing. Erin's out for the season with an injury, and then Rochelle, the other founder, is usually a player, but she just had her 3rd baby about a month ago, so she's kind of out for the season, being mom. But hopefully she'll be back next year. Yeah.
She'll come back.
And how many players does this team have right now, or the roster?
What's the full roster count?
Probably like
Erin's the expert on that.
I would say like probably like you probably legit have like a 40 man roster, I would say. But with like the rules though with the league, like you only can like travel like 20.
Okay.
For or like dress, or like if you're at home, dress out 20 people. So.
Like I was gonna say travel between like Austin to Round Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The quick road up to north I-35.
Temple.
Yeah,
Full
Temple.
25 minutes.
That's good. And then what's something like say some rules that the league has that besides the how many players can come to each game? What are something you guys have to learn from the league?
Something kind of unique is the subbing rule.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay.
typically, like, you sub out, you're done for the game. But this league in particular lets you have, like, in and out privilege, which I thought was kind of weird at first, but I actually kind of like it. So one thing that they're really focused on is, like, making sure players that come and play for the summer go back to their seasons healthy, because there's a lot of college level players in this league. And so creating an environment where they could grow, develop, get better, but also make sure that they're staying healthy as players. So I think that sub rule is there to like help with that, and it helps us too because then you can kind of like rotate players in and out and get a little bit more playing time for everybody. So it's an interesting one, but I'm kind of looking forward to it a little bit.
It's more like I would say somehow like a transitional developmental league, but it's still competitive because you have girls that play college and some that play for clubs. And one question that I have is where are the team's gonna play? Is it a stadium? It's I forget the name of it, but it's a football stadium on MLK, right? Or pretty close to it.
Yeah, we're gonna play at House Park. All of our home games are gonna be at House Park. So that's more like downtown.
Okay.
I don't know the
It's like
exact address.
15th and North Lamar.
Okay. There we go. I was 15. I got confused between.
You've probably driven by it like a million times, didn't know like that it was called House Park.
Is it that weird loop that takes you around?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've gotten lost there several times. And it's turf.
Yes.
Turf. Is that something that you guys had to adapt to whenever it came to playing turf and then grass, or you guys play it all over? Like it doesn't matter.
Well, we're practicing on turf at the moment,
Okay.
Yeah.
so I guess it's to our advantage a little bit. I think some of our away games might be on grass.
Yeah.
I know that turf. What is something that you guys have found as a benefit for the team, and what is something that you guys have found as like not beneficial for the team playing in turf?
The ball moves quicker. That's for sure. Yeah, ball moves like quicker on turf. So, of course, that requires some level of skill and finesse too when you're trying to play balls on the ground, or certain things like playing like passing style, the way you play balls in the air, if it like lands, like not letting the ball roll out of bounds and stuff. So I think that's always like good to do, is just like being able to increase your level of play, your speed, and also show off your skill as well, being able to control the ball and have finesse and like the way you pass and stuff like that. So I think it's good.
There's one thing about turf is all the same. I know sometimes grass gets patchy.
Oh yeah.
That is the thing. Like turf is very, very consistent, so that part's really nice. My only thing with it is like it's typically a harder surface, so it's a bit harder on the body. But the other thing is like every time you slide, you get like that turf burn. Like that's my only like real qualm with it.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's nice because you get a lot of consistency, speed in the game.
We have the team I play with, or the group I play with, we play at this park called Bailey, and it was dusty, patchy, and a lot of holes.
Yeah.
However, we really didn't get injured, and then we went to another field. You're right, and then everybody got injured like the first
Oh my god.
week.
No.
You have guys sliding, everyone somehow with a ankle like missing a week because they were hurt or pulled something. But I'm like, man, we're so used to like playing in the rough part. When we come to something nicer, we just don't, like our body doesn't know how to respond to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say like with turf is something similar, like especially like grass and turf. I've always thinking like, man, I my respects, because I mean, if I know either or, you step wrong on the grass and it was super muddy, you slide and you can twist. Or in turf, I feel like if you get stuck in the turf, you can twist it the other way.
Or tear your Achilles.
Or is that what happened to you?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! Was it playing
Playing an indoor, Austin indoor, on the turf.
When-
Yeah.
When did it happen?
February 26th. And then I had surgery 4 days later.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And the recovery, how's it been for you? Like say walking. When did you started walking up to the?
I honestly started walking maybe like I feel like 2 weeks ago. I feel like I was starting to walk. I went to the doctor on Monday, so now I'm trying to like walk around in the house without like my boot on and stuff. But it's gonna be a long recovery, but it's okay. I realized too, like, probably a blessing in disguise of like focusing on getting this up and running for like the players and stuff, and like when I get back I can, you know, start training again, do contact and stuff. So it ended up being a blessing in disguise. And like also like everyone's been like super supportive. I come to practice, I limp up the hill to practice, and everyone just is so nice and watching me, because like in the morning it's a little stiff in the morning, so I kind of old man kind of shuffle up there. But I mean, everyone's been super nice, and like it's been good. And you know, shout out to my physical therapist, also Monica, for helping me get back into it and everyone being supportive, because as you know, with injuries, like not only physical, it's mental as well, and it takes a toll on you. And you just need some people around to support you, make you, you know, feel better, especially when you're down and stuff. So, but yeah, that's my life right now.
I mean, injuries for me is I try to stay as healthy as possible, but you're right. Like they play a huge toll on you mentally. Well, I mean, the physical part, it'll come back with training, but the mental part, the first, I would say, week, it's the toughest, because you're used to doing so much, and then that happens, you're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Have you had any injuries that, you know, similar to tearing an Achilles?
Yeah, it's been, oh God, knock on wood. It's been a long time since I've had like a major injury. But yeah, I've done like sprained ankles and all that. I had knee surgery when I was like 14. That was probably the hardest one, because I was out for like, it was only meniscus tear, and they fixed it arthroscopically. So like, I think it was a 6-week recovery time or something like that. But that felt like eternity. And I remember like laying on the couch, like, you know, like your legs propped up and you're wrapped up and you like literally can't bend your leg. Like, this is the worst thing of my life. And I was watching a sports movie at the time, which was probably a mistake, because like everyone's like performing in this movie and like doing all these things. And I'm like, oh my God, will I ever be able to do that again? And like, yeah, it just sucks.
Has it happened where when you get injured when you're actually doing like in a very good game, or, you know, you're actually like, I'm actually doing pretty good today, and that happens, and it's just that adrenaline rush, like it kicks in and you're like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
It's never happened in like a big moment for me, thank goodness. But yeah, it's weird. Like when it happens, like you like know, I don't know, it's so weird. Like your body immediately knows the difference between like, I am seriously injured versus like, walk it off. Like that's fine. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It just kind of all clicks.
I was in denial, honestly. Like, it was loud. Like, it sounded like a gunshot. It was loud. And the girl was like, oh, like I heard a pop, and like I was in denial because I know it felt weird afterwards. And then like I like obviously the adrenaline was still happening, so I was able to like, well, they carried me off, and I was like walking afterwards. But also too, like what made me like more upset was like once I realized that was happening, it's like, and realizing how long the recovery was is like more disappointing than anything. Like getting hurt hurts in the moment, but knowing that like, wow, this is gonna be a grind to get back to your level, and also like getting past the fear of doing certain things, because like obviously your body was able to do it beforehand, but like trying to like run, jump, sprint, like play soccer after an injury is something that you have to that fear you have to get over, which so we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna have to test it out yet of my fear of anything, so we'll see.
We got time.
Take your time. How long did they give you for recovery, like estimated time?
Probably a full year. A full year, to get back to how I was, and the old age is not helping either, so I don't know.
Erin's not old. She just says she's old.
I'm up there. I'm starting to get with everybody else.
Hey, it's all right. I always say age comes with wisdom, and I'm pretty sure you've been wise.
Exactly.
That is, that's true, I guess.
I'll definitely take that.
But then again, like say for example, like I know it's like you said, it's sort of a blessing in disguise, because now you're helping the team in a different way.
Oh yeah.
You're probably getting to see some stuff outside of the pitch, and then you can have a more of a profound input to the team, because sometimes when you're playing and you're giving an input, it's a lot different when you're actually sitting back and like, hey, I'm actually seeing this.
Yeah.
Go 5 feet this way, and trust me, you're gonna get her.
Yeah, I realize that too. And like also too, like I want, and like I try to come to everything, so like everyone can still see that like everyone's like, okay, like I'm okay, and like, and people can see that like people that get hurt and stuff, people are even dinged up right now, that if you keep coming and if people see you like out there doing your best to like come show up for them. That's also helpful too. And it's like a whole different perspective, because I don't really have any type of like, I don't want to say I'm like a coach or anything, but like watching from on the outside, seeing different like tactics and stuff, and like being able to like help girls out is something like I definitely want to do, hopefully, and hope that can have an impact on somebody as they're going through like their soccer journey still. So
Is the I know, like, say it's hard to ask a woman question about age, but the age range of the team, what is like? What's the average, or is it like young?
Oh, average would be so hard to choose. I'll give you the range though.
All right.
I think it's like, is the youngest 17?
16.
16,
Oh, wow.
and the oldest 34. No, yeah,
34, 36, 34, 34.
That's 34.
34 still gauge for soccer.
So it's a pretty big range.
Yeah.
That's a, I want to say that's a mix. That's a good mix.
Yeah. I guess if I had to throw an average, like maybe 25-ish. Maybe a little younger. Maybe a little younger than that. Yeah.
Okay. That's something that at least I would say it's good to have young and older like experienced players. I would say because if you have a younger team, you're first starting to build something. It's a little harder, because when you have an older team, it's like, okay, we've been through some fire. We know how to react to certain situations.
Yeah.
One I want to get more into the the community, and this what is something that Austin FC, do you guys feel like is going to do for the community? I mean, Austin Rise FC.
Yeah, so I think I was saying it earlier, but like community is really big for us, and like making sure that we're involving the community in as much as we can. We've had so much support from the community, and so making sure like we continue to foster those relationships with like Los Verdes and Austin Co-ed. Alyssa Zamansky, who's the president of Austin Co-ed, has been like a massive supporter of ours from day one, and honestly is one of our trusted advisors at this point. And so showing them that we want to give back to them with this team, and like have them be really excited and hyped about it. And then also like literally giving back to the community. Like we've been trying to organize some volunteer events for the team. We're doing a shift actually at Central Texas Food Bank in June. So making sure like we're just kind of ingraining ourselves and making sure we're part of what is the Austin community and the soccer community, and making everybody just feel very welcome to be part of what we've built as well. And like that includes like coming to our games and like making sure the fans that come like have just like a really good time and see some good soccer and get excited about everything that we're doing. So yeah, like I don't know. Don't add anything to it.
Oh no, I agree. Everyone has been super supportive, and I feel like there's no way we even can like return the like gratitude everyone has given us. It's been amazing, and it's just, and I want it to be the same way. Like every time we talk to like Alyssa about anything, like, oh my God, you should talk to so and so and so and so. They love soccer. You should talk to so and so, so they would love to support you. Hopefully, like, in return, like somebody could say, oh my God, talk to Erin and Katie. Like they're awesome. They'd love to help you with this. Oh, they like Austin Rise is like would love to help this group do this and this. Like hopefully, like we can pay it back someday of all the support we've gotten and stuff. And it's been awesome of like how much people really care about just people in general too. Like I feel like if whatever we were starting, soccer or anything, like people would have just been supporting us, and it's been great, and hopefully we can give it right back to the community like any way we can. So
yeah, and like I'll add to that too, like with the partnerships that we're building and the sponsorships that we're kind of building too, is like not just taking, but like trying to also give something in return. So like obviously we need funding for the team, right? Like we can't run a club without money, but there's stuff that we can do for the people that want to invest in us and want to support us. Like one of our biggest sponsor, Ally Medical, came on board and they're like, hey, we want to invest in women's soccer. Like, take our money, basically. Like, great. What can we do for you? So, like, making sure, like, we're giving them brand awareness and, like, we're giving them props where we can, and doing, collaborated or events with them and stuff like that. So we try to like bring that to every single partnership we have, like whether they've given us the top dollar or the bottom dollar, like making sure we find some way to give back to them and like help promote them too, because this is about growth for everybody, not just us.
That's something good to hear, because I think nowadays when you build an organization, it always comes down to, in my opinion, what can the organization do for the community as well, because then you build like a deeper connection with the people, and it's not just, oh, we're just gonna have a team, we're gonna play, and that's it. We're gonna go in there, take pictures, and go play, but there's gonna be nothing more than just playing. But seeking to give in to return back to the brand that is sponsoring you guys, or organizations that are maybe not giving monetary but somehow support. That's huge, because at the end of the day, I mean, when you build something in the city, it's for the city. It's to help the city grow. Like, say, my thing is growing the legend, but the legend isn't just Austin FC alone.
Right.
I mean, soccer is great, and the only way we can make that legend grow in Austin is just by connection. It's just by coming together and find ways to support, whether it's showing up and like helping in the field during the game days, before game days, setting up events for y'all can talk, or in school, or the community or companies giving you guys back monetary. That's also huge, because if there's one thing that pretty much you guys answered my question was, how can what is something that you guys can give to the community? What is something that the community can give to you guys? Is money at the end of the day is something that's needed to fund several things, and because yes, we can applaud and we can we can do so much, but then having funds in the account helps, because then you don't have to worry about the players buying their the uniforms. You don't have to worry with the balls, like you get better quality balls, or the pitch where you guys play, whether you buy it or rent it, it's taken care of. That's something that the players won't have to worry about. And especially, like, I feel like in still it's a challenge for women, is just having a team and having companies come in and support, bigger companies that like, say for example, we talked about last year when Michelle, Gabby, Serafina, and Roma, they were in a podcast. It was a all women's podcast, and they were saying they were pretty much all agreeing to, why not have brands like Lululemon, Athletica, those type of brands step in and really show like the true support by helping those smaller organizations. Because then it's not like not taken away from a smaller company, but it's just when you bring a more renowned name, or a bigger name to the picture, it brings a little more legitimacy, and it also brings a little more viewership, because now you're not just gonna have the person that that watches the team and like what in the field. We're also gonna have the people that buy the brand go to the games. So it's a two-way, I always say.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and like I always encourage people to just like like I mentioned earlier, just read more about like women's soccer and just like the landscape of it, and in the business behind starting a team, and even like starting different leagues and stuff. That there's a lot of like money that goes into it, and a lot of fun that's required of it, and that's the one thing like that we want to make sure that we do, of course, too, is like just the players focusing on soccer, but like behind the scenes there's a lot that goes behind it. And like I mentioned, like I encourage everyone to read about it with anything. I think with any sport, to like start a team or anything, there's a lot of background that goes into it, of building it up, and it's really fun, but it's also really challenging as well. And again, as women's soccer continues to grow, and soccer in general, I think more people will kind of understand that too, just like the funding and the investment that goes into something like this. So
that's good. If you guys are listening to this, whether you have a small company, big company, or you can do it, you have something extra, help the cause, I would say.
Oh yeah, Venmo was Cash App.
There we go.
Well, we do have a form on our website.
Yeah,
if someone is interested in becoming a sponsor or helping to support in that way, they can go to our website, austinrisefc.com, and we have a form that they can fill out, get connected, or just send us an email at austinrisefc at gmail.com. We're always happy to connect with new people. And even if it's just a conversation, like, doesn't even have to be like about money. Just, we love to talk to anyone.
That's good. And then I know you guys got a sponsorship from Juiceland, right? Not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
Juiceland?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Juiceland came on officially as a sponsor, Ally Medical, and then Next Level Urgent Care. So,
Okay.
yeah. Ally will be our primary sponsor. They're going to be actually on the front of our jersey and our training kits. And then Juiceland will be on the sleeve. And then Next Level is another sponsor, and they'll have some advertising at the game as well.
Okay. What brand is the jersey gonna be for you guys?
It's a
Puma.
Puma. Orale.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Pretty good brand. I like the shoes. And is
Yeah.
it, like nice and silky jersey?
I haven't seen the jerseys yet. So
You didn't see the sample?
no. Oh yeah, I see the sample. That's right.
Okay.
Like the jersey. Okay, I haven't seen the jerseys like actually completed with all the stuff on it. But yeah.
They're final touches going on this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Looking forward to it. Are you guys gonna drop a pretty cool promo video about the jersey on social media?
Yeah, we're working on it. So first home game's June 11th, and we're working on some promotional stuff around that to get people excited about it and get the information out there for where to buy tickets and all that. We do have our season tickets on sale at the moment, but single game tickets are going to drop soon as well for those that don't want to buy season tickets.
How much is the season ticket?
It's $40. It's for all 5 games for the season. So basically, it's $8 a game when you break it down. Single game tickets will go on sale for $10, so you get a little bit of a discount if you're buying a season ticket and you're going to come to more than one game. So we encourage those.
$40. I'm pretty sure you guys all got $40.
Yeah.
In this podcast, we are committed to buying a season ticket.
Ooh.
And no, that's good. We'll do the best from our side to promote it. June 11th, 7:30, right?
I think it's at 7.
7. There
Yeah.
we go.
It's at 7.
At House Park on Lamar and 15th.
Yeah.
Last question that I have, and it's a little more of a personal one. We talked about soccer, but what is something to you or for you? Like the meaning of the sport for you?
Ooh. You want to take that first?
Sure. Well, soccer for me has been like every kind of aspect of my life. I feel like for me, like growing up, I moved a little bit. Like when I was younger in Colorado, I moved a couple times. And what always, kept me, like going as a kid was all my friends were from like soccer. I was still kind of like the new kid in high school, even as well, even though I went to like the same middle school as some people, but I was still kind of new. And like once soccer season came around, like I knew I found like my friend group. So soccer for me has really just, carried me throughout my life. Through all my like major milestones and moments have been around soccer. So like, because like growing up playing club, a lot of my best friends are from that, and having the opportunity to play soccer in college as well, and being able to continue my education that way. So I just think it's been like a part of my life that has brought me joy and happiness and friendship, and I feel like that's something that's very important. And I always knew that soccer was a way that I could release any stress, have my friends laugh, cry. So it's been a part of my life. And even right now, injured or even getting older, like soccer will probably be part of my life, forever. So for soccer, I'm like forever grateful for it.
Yeah, I would agree with a lot of that. I think for me, like if I boil it down, soccer just represents a lot of joy for me. I've been playing since I was 5, and like I did a lot of like basketball and soccer growing up, and basketball was really like my focus. But it got to the point where it was almost like a job, and it became like kind of not fun anymore. But with soccer, it was just, whenever I think about it, it's just always been fun. It's always been a place of joy for me. I have lifelong friends through it. I've learned so much through the sport. And it's just always been the thing I turn to, and I'm like, what do I want to do that I actually care about and have fun doing? It's like, oh, soccer. And that's like kind of the piece I hold on to. And the moment I like lose that, then I feel like it's like, okay, it's time to step away. But so far,
It's still
it's
there.
still there. So that's all like, I'm
Nice.
like, all right, this is special. Yeah.
Nah, that's good. That's good. I think when you enjoy something that you're doing, you're gonna be doing it with a smile.
Yeah.
I revert to. I always go back to this one saying that Diego Fagundes' dad was in the podcast, and he talked about before the game. He always tells Diego, smile. So smiling when doing something is like something that you can't take that away. It's priceless.
Oh yeah.
No, but I appreciate y'all for coming to the podcast. It's great getting to know more about the team we're gonna play and about you guys as well, because you guys are part of it. The biggest asset for me in an organization is the people behind it. So I appreciate y'all coming in, sharing your story, talking about your injury, your recovery, and what you're going through, and how you're gonna get back. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna kill it.
Oh, yeah.
When you're back, Erin.
I'm excited, and we thank you for having us.
Yes.
And I know it's just two of us here, but we're representing the other founders, the players, everyone that supported us. Talking about me personally, my family has supported me and my friends as well. So this podcast is mostly for everyone that I just mentioned as well. So this is all for them, for the players and stuff. So thank you for having us, and
Yes, thank you.
my thank you spreads to all those people I just mentioned as well. So
I'm committed to the times that I go to the games, or if there's a way to watch them. I'm going to do a quick 5-minute recap, because I'm trying to do is every week that Austin FC plays, or Austin FC 2, have I started doing like this solo thing, and just recapping the games. I'm committed to doing this recap for y'all every week. I just have to stay update, with the games and watch them, but that's something I want to be able to. How can I get back? This is one way.
Cool.
yeah,
We'd love to see you there.
yeah, we love to recap on our games and stuff.
Oh, I'm gonna be hard if there's press conferences afterwards. I'm gonna be asking those hard questions. No, I'm just playing. By the way, there's one thing that I really enjoy is just this amazing view, like outside. It feels great. The breeze is out.
Oh yeah.
It's nice out.
I'm a fan of sunsets, so it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
And thanks to everyone for listening to this episode, for checking it out. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, anywhere you get your podcast, social media. Es Otra por favor, Otra X favor. Se cuidan bien, se cuidan, se portan bien, y arriba la América. You guys have a favorite team?
What?
You guys have a favorite team?
Favorite team? Oh,
Don't say
Any
that.
team?
Yeah.
At the moment, I love watching Chelsea women play in the
Okay.
Women's Super League. Like, it's just freaking power team. I watched them play over the weekend, and it's fun. They're good. They're a fun team to watch.
Nice.
ooh, I don't know about my favorite team right now. I'm just excited for the Women's World Cup in general. So I'm thinking World Cup when you say favorite team. That's the first thing I thought of. So, I mean, for sure cheering for the U.S., but I'm excited for just the World Cup in general,
Me too.
honestly.
It's gonna
So
be such an interesting one.
I know.
The level has risen so much among all the clubs. I think
Yes.
it's gonna be the most interesting Women's World Cup I've seen.
yeah,
so almost competitive.
It's gonna be great. I'm excited for it.
I'll have to check it out. Now that I'm gonna check it out, I'm gonna have new notes and also add it to my recap. I'm trying to do this 15-minute recap of every game, or at
Oh,
least
yeah.
2 games. But it's I don't want to just be Austin FC. I want to add more things.
Oh yeah,
But I'm trying to do as much local as possible. So that's the plan.
we'll be excited for it. We'll be happy for it.
There we go. All right, Odyssey. Adios.